One, two, three, live and direct. You know who this is. It's yo, Khary. Coming live and direct with my brother Ahmad. We call him Malay Lay. And welcome. You are.
Mari clap. Allahu Akbar.
You are tuned into Strangers to the Culture. I'm your host. This is my co-host, brother Ahmad, aka Malay Lay. What do you guys say to the
Assalamualaikum.
people out there today?
I don't know, man. Today I feel tired a little bit. But
Tired?
anyway,
Muy
but
cansado?
just stay with us. Stay tuned. Enjoy our show tonight.
Our show tonight. Thank you
Inshallah.
again. The feedback has been incredible, great. We'll get to our guest
Yep.
in 1 second here because, as
Your
you
time.
know, and as you see right here with the colors that we're flying, and I want to put highly, highly high, let's say quotations or marks. I just want to let you guys know we are totally aware of what's going on in the world today. We are in solidarity. I've been in solidarity since the 80s as a kid growing up in Philly. You know what I'm saying? So we are there, but inshallah, in between this time, in this little hour that I have your attention, or whatever, how long it takes, because our guest today has a very, very rich story and we're ready to extract it.
Right.
In this time, in this little bit of time, I want to y'all just to just try to understand that sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us things, and let me say it like this. Today's Friday, so calf, right? Sometimes we be looking at the world through the Musa's eyes. When Allah puts his qadr in that spiritual side, we don't see, well, al qadr, right? And we're looking at it through the lens of Musa. So we may see it one way, but Allah has a plan and it's unfolding another way. And we know Allah is the best of planners. So I just wanted to take that time out for my people in Gaza, my people in Sudan, my
Lebanon.
people in Lebanon. Oh, I
Syria.
ain't forget, I ain't like them. I know everybody who's
Allah
in trapped.
protect
My
them.
people in the hood that's trapped with the that's funding this unknowingly because they're trapped in prison systems through this whole system. So shout out to everybody out there. If you behind bars, we really salute you. You know what I mean? We really salute you out
Allah
there.
make it easy.
May Allah make it easy on you. Now, that's the most serious part that I have to be at the show because I just want to let y'all know we're not oblivious or ignorant to what's going on. So, therefore, let me get back into the comedy. So, 1, 2, 3 in the place to be? Yeah, you know this is. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning into another Stranger to the Culture.
Right.
So,
start.
now, yeah, we're going to go ahead and
All right.
jump in.
We have a good.
Well, actually, first and foremost, I want to just talk about this guy here. I don't have much to say.
Okay.
He's a very humble guy. So basically, I'm gonna let him introduce himself before I go. Welcome to Strangers to the Culture.
Thank
Kev.
you. Good to be here, man. Good. I'm glad to be on here. You know, the first episode was like crazy, man. It was
That's the
real.
pilot.
It was just real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
it
was
was
the
just real.
pilot.
And so I was like, yeah, man. You know, I'll be here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man.
So let's go ahead and introduce
Yeah,
him.
bro.
Go ahead.
Kevin. Tell your name, Kevin. I mean,
Kevin, I don't really have. I never picked an Islamic name.
You don't need it.
You don't need it.
No, you don't need it. We're
Kinda
gonna call
toyed
you
with it.
where I know you
Kev.
Kevin L.
Yeah,
Clinic.
yeah, there you go.
Kevin L. Clinic.
Okay.
Yeah, it is. I like it. Kevin L. Click.
I like it. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah,
Go ahead, man.
Alan
So
Briki.
Kevin Amriki. I
Yeah.
like that even better.
So
'Cause
Kevin,
that ties into what's going on.
do you grow up here in Houston, Texas?
I grew up in Webster, like
Webster?
Oh,
Green.
down the street, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's
So
like-
he
oh,
is
Webster,
really,
yeah.
He's local.
yeah,
he's
he's
local.
really, he's like the first bred
I know,
born
man.
in this. Yeah, this is his
Man.
master here for real, for real.
Mashallah,
Loyal
You
to the
know.
soil for real,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
real.
So, interestingly, did you grow up believe in God, or were your family religious, take you to the
Yeah.
church, or whatever
I
synagogue?
went to like the Christian school through like 8th grade, and we had the Wednesday thing, the Bible study. You got to memorize a Bible verse every week and all that.
Oh.
But you're a kid, you don't really know what you're doing. Then as I grew up, you start questioning things, and like I was always like a monotheist. Alhamdulillah, like I never got
Monotheist,
into like
nice.
the multiple gods. It never made sense to me. Alhamdulillah.
Wow,
Yeah, it just
that's
never
true.
did.
Honestly, ever since I remember when I was young, I used to tell everybody I wanted to be a preacher. But they said, well, Jesus is this and this and this and that. I never believed that. I always believe in monotheism in my heart. It's like, yeah, I want to be a preacher, but I'm not preaching that. So I'm locked in on you with that.
So you
Continue.
always, searching for, the one God.
fitra.
monotheism. Yeah,
It was already
yeah,
built
that's
in.
right. That's the word.
It's
Yeah.
the fitra built
Yeah.
in.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, man.
Ahmed is really impressed with my knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. Like, I haven't been working at a masjid for 14 years, but we're gonna skip that. Go ahead, go.
You're low key like a sheikh, like low key sheikh right here.
Hey, if
Like,
you check
look,
my TikTok, check it out. It's the hood shake.
look.
yeah, like low key.
This time I have my cue card this time, dude. Like you complained last time, okay? Inshallah. So no, okay. Well, let me. I don't want to read it.
Mashallah.
I want to make okay. So since you said about you went to Christian class and Sunday class. Now, at what point you started to reach or do search about Islam, and then what make you attract to Islam, and eventually say Shahada and become Kevin
The Muslim.
Muslim.
We started.
All right,
Yeah,
so this
Kevin
is a
the
long
Muslim.
question.
Wow.
Take your time.
That's his name, Kevin the Muslim.
I know,
Oh,
That's deep, bro.
What better to be recognized as except a Muslim,
Mashallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Your fourth handshake of the day.
Muslim and the mu'min. That's
Next level.
That's
Right
level.
there. Next level.
Yeah.
Inshallah.
Anyway, so go ahead. Tell about how do you start to
Well,
find about
I
Islam?
kind of went on a journey with Christianity. I studied it really well, and that's where you really see the inconsistencies come out, right?
Right.
And then after that, I read a book, and it was just basically this book by a Catholic priest, and he was just kind of describing how, like, Jesus wasn't really divine, and like, all these people were
And he's
writing.
a priest?
He was a priest, yeah.
Oh, okay, go
He was
ahead.
a priest. And so that book really like affected me. It was like, man, that all rings very true. Like I'm sure that these people who wrote about Jesus, alayhi salam, were like,
Yes.
1 second. You notice that, right? We said peace is blessings to Jesus. Okay, if you happen to just flow through YouTube, you see these Muslims here. Yes, we believe in Jesus, and yes, we say peace. I don't know. We put some respect on that name. I'm sorry, I'm the world's greatest interrupter. Now back to Kev.
Oh yeah, I'll give that title to you.
no problem,
Anytime,
no
man.
problem. Yeah, and so I was just like, these people were describing this interaction they had with this person who changed their life, right? And it came out in these like weird metaphors. It's basically what the author said. It just came out in these metaphorical ways. And I was like, I mean, that pretty much describes prophethood, right? Like people who met the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam immediately changed his life. Immediately, sometimes meeting this person was life changing.
Yeah.
From that moment on, I was like, you know what? I believe in God, but I can't do this whole Jesus is God thing. Registering, and life goes on, and the problem with like that kind of attitude for me was like you don't have like it's like walking around in the room, you're in the right room but the lights are off, like you can't see the walls, you can't see the table, you're just like stumbling around. Yeah, and then Islam comes on, it's like the lights come on, it's like, okay, there's the wall, there's the door, there's the window.
Time out.
Right.
Shout out to me. I call that the light bulb moment. I coined that phrase. I'm done with that. Go ahead. Yeah. That's absolutely amazing, and that's
good one.
Absolutely accurate into what we go through as believers. Like we go our whole life in darkness, right? We go to Surah Baqarah around 286, right? We go from darkness to light, and then we have so many people that go from light and run to darkness. And once you run to darkness, you will never be able to find light. And having that fitra of nature, we've been light seekers from the beginning. Boom, that's amazing. I'm sorry about that.
So after that, did you come straight to click? I remember you came here to say I want to become Muslim. The Ramadan, right? Was it Ramadan?
No, it was a little before Ramadan. The UHMSA got me there, and like to this day, I'll always love the UHMSA. I'm still in touch with the guy that gave me Shahada. He was the MSA president at the time. Yeah, and a beautiful group. Inshallah, may Allah preserve them, increase them. And yeah, I took my Shahada there, and then they were like, well, where do you live? I was like, Clear Lake, and everybody's like, oh, Sheikh Walid. And I was like, who?
Sheikh Walid, we are so blessed. We are so blessed with Sheikh Walid.
If you guys haven't seen Sheikh Walid Basuni by Kamal Al-Mekki, go look that video. It's like 13 years old, man. And he's giving an accurate description of like you say Sheikh Walid's name, like oh my God, Sheikh Walid Basuni. And you never know. And we're blessed to have the wonderful Sheikh here with us. So yeah, man. Big up to you, Sheikh. Shout out to you.
Yeah, and then I think I came here my first time here. I think Bilal was here. I think I stumbled into the office, and I stumbled into Bilal's office. I was like, hey, like I'm new. And then like Sheikh Ibrahim was there and was like, hey, what's up? And I was just like, okay.
Who's the white dude come to play?
Really fast. So what he's talking about is El Maghrib used to be housed. Their media guy used to be housed here. I taught him how to light and train. No, I'm joking. But seriously, he was housed here, and that's the way the office is set up. So shout out to Bilal and El Maghrib Institute.
Yeah.
Yep. They,
Check it out.
good
Go find
people.
online El Maghrib Institute.
They
Yeah.
my peoples right there.
Yeah,
They my
and then-
peoples. Yeah, okay, go ahead, man. So you
Yeah.
stumbled in the clique, you ran into Sheikh Ibrahim.
Yeah, Sheikh Ibrahim, and then it was just, you know, from there, it was just where the journey started, you know.
Mashallah, mashallah.
First Ramadan came and went, you know, got married, and it's always fun.
Mashallah. Yeah, I remember
like-
that. I remember that, you know, told a
Yeah,
story about
mashallah.
finding a wife.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, yeah.
So your first Ramadan, what was that like, bro? That's off topic.
That's
It
all
was
right.
like the easiest
It
one
was
for
the easiest
me,
one.
and it was funny because it was like July. It was like the
was the
longest. Like your
longest.
fast.
How, what
Right.
year was that?
17?
So yeah.
17 or 18.
It's not a revert anymore, man. It just
Nah, we
Just a
don't call
Muslim
that
now,
revert
you know.
anymore.
You
That's
don't
only
gotta-
when the action
it's not
happens.
qualified.
When you
bro.
take the action, listen, let me say this to Samaya. Let me say this. Shout out to me, girls, greatest interrupter. Listen, when Muslims take their Shahada, it's an action. Okay, they reverted, the action happened, and now it's a noun. A verb takes you to a noun, right? So let's say that. So once we take our Shahada and we convert it, now we are Muslims, and let's ride out with
That's
that.
it. You
Yeah,
know.
that's what the thing. Like, you know, I was involved in the convert community for a while.
Right.
It was in other parts of town. It's like I don't like being identified as a convert. I'm a Muslim, right? Like, you know, like you don't have to single me out.
It's almost like Barry Bonds with an asterisk next to his name.
Yeah.
Kev likes sports. I like sports.
I
so
love
let me
sport,
just you stay over there. I
Texans,
thought you would
baby.
like it being Japanese, but whew. Oh, Malay Lay, my bad. What up, Barry Bonds? Remember you used to play San Francisco 40 Giants.
Yeah.
I got baseball. I don't play
Yeah,
baseball.
see?
Man. All right.
Well,
Anyway.
you don't like baseball, like cricket.
Oh, that's worse. Anyway.
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
Malaysians like sleeping. That's their
that
sport.
makes sense.
13 hour, 14
Come on,
hour.
man.
I call the whole. Invite me to Malaysia
Oh,
and prove me
bro.
wrong.
I want to go.
Invite us to Malaysia and prove me wrong. Okay.
Yeah, I do sleep a lot. Anyway.
Yeah.
But you're not representative of the whole. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's right, yeah.
when I was in Saudi, one of the guys, that's where he went on vacation. It's like a Saudi guy. He was like, I'm going to Malaysia. He went to a water park. He had a blast. You know, he got
Oh,
the water
yeah,
park.
right.
Saudi.
All right.
So really fast, before we get into the Saudi, because
yeah.
I know you got a lot of rich stories from there. So the last time we were talking, you came, you were at Click, you met the group here, you had your first Ramadan here. Now, I'm thinking, since you took the Shahada and you went through this and you're living, what's your family reaction to all this?
I mean, you know, at first, nobody likes it at first, right? And all of a sudden, everybody becomes religious, you know? Like, you
They
know?
become scholars.
Yeah,
Everybody
I like
walking
that.
around with a Bible in their house.
Exactly,
like,
exactly.
my brother,
that's
you know,
funny.
Leviticus. I'm like, yo, for real. And
Yeah, bro,
go ahead.
like,
Paul
yeah,
said
like,
this. Like, okay, who's
man,
Paul?
like, you know, people that like haven't stepped foot in a church or opened the Bible in 10 or 15
funny.
years. All of a sudden, I walk in the kitchen and they got a Bible open on the table.
Like,
And they're like,
hallowed be thy name. Everybody's like, what is this?
yeah, like,
we
what's
never
going
did this
on?
before.
Wow.
Yeah.
Never did this before.
Yeah, and then actually, right when I converted, my grandmother had just seen a Fox News special.
I was gonna ask that because you told me. I remember that you told me that story. Yeah.
What was the special? What you? I gotta.
that ISIS was recruiting on college campuses. I swear, I promise.
That's funny.
I promise.
Yo.
I have to drink more of that. It's so
She
funny.
said, if somebody offers you a ticket to Mecca, run for the door. I was like, what are you talking about?
I got a story similar to that. Yo, when I first came Muslim, I was in the hood in Chester, right? And I never forget it. My mom, this is the first time I shaved my head bald because my cousin had cancer, and I wore a thobe, and I had the beard, and I walked out on the front porch, and my next door neighbor, now mind you, when you're living in an all-black neighborhood, the first thing they assume is where you learn Islam.
That you know Islam.
Jason,
Second,
Panther? No.
Prison.
prison. So you have to use the
bad.
first one. They like, oh, you gotta. So when I walked out on the porch, I lie to you not, my next door neighbor, I won't say too much about it, but because he passed on, he's like an uncle to me. First thing was said, they got him, Jackie, they got him. Like the whole neighborhood kept, yo, the whole neighborhood, they got him, Jackie, they got him.
Oh my God.
Yo,
Wow.
wow. So similar story, bro. That's real
funny.
talk. That's real spill, bro. Never forget that. So
Yeah.
your grandmother, she sees you. She said they got my baby, and they give you a ticket to Mecca. Run.
Yeah, go, yeah.
So
And you know, like actually my dad, you know,
Yeah.
may Allah guide him.
I mean,
He was like, I don't even know if I should say this on the camera. He was like, well, if you're gonna, to be a suicide bomber, just kill yourself first.
Yeah,
That
that's
advice I
wild,
got
bro.
from my dad. Yeah. So
Wow.
you see how that relationship
That's
was.
wild.
See how that relationship was.
Nah, man, but you know what? That's because those people, first of all, fear.
Yeah.
What I always think to that is fear. So what they're going to do is project the worst ideal of it because they really want peace themselves and they just can't figure out. So if they be abrasive to try to knock you off your square, and you see, if you stay 10 toes down and remain one, my cousin always tell me that. Stay 10 toes down and remain one, remain whole. And they just try to do that to just see where you at. But it's a marathon.
But you think about it though, you cannot put 100% blame on them because
Definitely can't.
yeah, because I mean, think about it. You saw you turn on the TV.
Come on, man. You
You
turn on
know,
the news.
that's the channel start with
Yeah.
the F, and then letters. What did they say about Islam? I mean, even today, so what else they can get any information about the true Islam. So that's why when they heard you become a Muslim, they freaked out. Like,
Yeah, you're in Texas.
yeah,
So
so that's true.
So you talk about a giant red state,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah.
With no information coming in at all. So we got to look from their point of view. And you go out to the world. You their baby who knew nothing, and now our baby goes to school. He comes back a little different. Then as he changes a little bit, then he goes to college and becomes back something totally different. And then he hits you with, "I'm a Muslim," and I just turned on the TV and seen it. So the mindset.
So how's it? What 5-6 years now? How are they reacting to you now? Is it getting better?
Oh yeah, it's a lot better. There's nothing really. There's nobody really. Alhamdulillah, I got very lucky. A lot of converts out there. They deal with horrible family problems.
Yeah.
Mine was a little rocky at first. It was actually weird, like the people I expected to be most accepting, like my grandmother, like most like rejecting. And my mother was actually like the women's chair of the Galveston County Republican Party, and I told her, she was like, "That's great, no problem," like
That's what she said.
Yeah, and I was
Oh,
like,
Allah didn't make
number
it for
one,
you.
let me look. If mom see this, dad too. Y'all made a good kid, yo. Like Kev is. I mean, listen. Cover your ears for a second. This guy is a really, really good dude with a great heart that took his time to learn and focus, and he's help people be mature. So, sorry.
Dude, he's gonna hear it when he watches the.
I know. It's like praise. You know what I mean? You know how it is. Like we have an issue of a lot of men in the West. We don't know how to take compliments, and we have to be more accepting and open. That one, someone has the courage to praise something good they see in you, and two, being vulnerable, accept and just say thank you. Because I have a huge problem with it. But with your parents, man, just remember it's a marathon. It's not a race. Because remember that story I just said. My mom, it was like, oh, they got them, blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
But then towards like the last week of my mom's life, she said, "Why you treat me so well?" And she gave me these scenarios, and she said, "Well, why do you treat me so well after all of this?" And all I can say is because the Prophet told us we got to be good to our parents. And that was just a moment. She said, "I like that." And then 3 days later, she was dead.
MashaAllah.
You know what I'm saying? So marathon, bro. It's always a marathon, bro. So your character and Allah chooses us because we are, like I said last week, we are the messengers to our family. That's dope. My bad, man.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons, that like I just don't. I want to strive to be better. Like everybody has the outer thing they do, and then like Allah knows the inside, right? And
only Allah knows.
Allah knows, and like when I meet Allah, like I want the inside to be clean, right? And now I'm not there yet. Like I'm still working.
All right, we're gonna get there.
We do.
I love it.
Yeah, everyone.
Let's go ahead and jump into the next set of.
No,
now we're gonna go from like your journey, right? We went to your
fast
journey.
Forward now.
Now you're a man, and you're working in the world.
Wife.
So here we go.
So what do you do for a living, man? I see you here every day. Like, do you work actually?
Well, it depends who you ask.
Are you like independently wealthy? Like, oh, it must be nice.
I have an endowment.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Anyway. Ain't that what they call them?
I don't know.
What's that thing when they just
it's like a trust fund?
That's a trust fund.
Oh,
I'm a trust fund, baby.
That would have been nice, man.
Yeah.
That would have been great.
I'm Black Trust. We had no fun. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I got my degree in math.
Math.
Mathematician here.
You know what I like about math?
You do?
Yeah.
I don't.
See, shout out to me, man. Sorry, Khary. I believe in you.
Okay.
You know what I like about math? It's perfect.
That's the idea. You
It's
try to
perfect.
make it like that.
You know,
yeah.
if you follow the steps, it'll end out. The calculations end up right. You only could measure it, that's right. And the biggest thing that I like about math, here we go, is the number one. Because whenever you use the number one, it's always used as a measurement to count something to count from. You have $1 bill, but it's multiple $1 bills. But the only thing truly existence that's truly existent one is Allah. Kuhu Allahu Ahad. It's the only thing in existence. Everything comes from something, splits from something, needs something to become something, except for who? The number one.
Yeah.
That's trippy about the number
The
one. So that's what math really, that's why now I appreciate math. But mathematician,
Yeah.
go ahead, bro. That's crazy.
Well, like I was good enough to get by, but I was sitting next to people in math class that these dudes would just like look at a whiteboard and be like, "I'm good. I ain't got to study." I was putting in work, but I made it. Alhamdulillah.
I quit community college because of math. I walked into class, I was sitting to two Asian kids, right? And it's like, yeah. There's like they say
Stereotype.
one out of three of you won't make it. I look to the left, it's Asian guy. I look to the right, it's Asian guy. I just walked out of class.
I'm done. It's gonna be me.
That's a joke, guys. That's me. That's a joke. But no, that's funny. That's funny. Go ahead, man.
That's the truth, though. When I was in college,
they tell you quick.
Yeah. Anyway,
college wasn't for me though.
So, anyway, Kevin. So, last time you told me you went to Saudis for how long? Like 3 months, 4 months.
He didn't tell me what he do. You mathematician, right?
Oh yeah.
So I was a data
that was my fault. I
analyst.
sidebarred you.
A data analyst, and I just.
What does that mean?
Yeah, man, good question.
Seriously, like I'm a data analyst.
Yeah, so like businesses, they need questions answered, right? Like somebody comes to me and there's like, hey, there's this person over there and they're scanning fruits. How many fruits are they scanning per hour, right? How efficient are they doing? This is not what I do, but like a data analyst just tries to answer questions about a business with data, right?
Yeah.
There's so much to it. There can't
numbers,
be a lot
man. No, you could go surface level. I don't really want to get into it and knocking, telling secrets out there.
But
and then Kev,
from there,
I gotta work with y'all.
He got a from there.
Secrets. Go ahead.
Because of that, his company sent him to Saudis, man.
Ah,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
now we getting into the meat of the podcast.
So how long were you there?
Yeah, I was over there. So I worked my way up to management, and then there came this position open that they needed a consultant, right?
Wow.
I don't even know still to this day what a consultant actually is.
I can tell you what a consultant is because I am the cultural consultant for this podcast in Clear Lake Islamic Center. So I help people understand.
In my world, consultants that pay a lot of money.
I
mean, in my world,
I guess I'm just an advisor because I don't get paid any money. Go ahead. So the consultant. So basically, their opinion on numbers or whatever that assignment was, right?
Yeah, it was interesting. It was like
expert.
I had to go over there. It was for NEOM, which is a part of Saudi Arabia, and I was actually trying to help them set up technology for the fire department.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so I worked on I was a data analyst on a software development team, and so naturally, like I learned stuff about software, technology, how everything works together. And at the time, my company.
Hold on, where were you in Saudi though?
Tabuk.
Tabuk, where is it?
Basically, it's as far north as you get before there's nothing but desert.
Okay.
As far north as you can go. Yeah.
All right, but so go ahead and then.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I went over there and they didn't have a tech guy, and so I was the tech guy, and then I had a bunch of people come over. I had like 4 or 5 people.
They're all Middle Eastern?
No, like nobody on my team was Middle Eastern. And I was the only Muslim. I was the only Muslim there. Yeah.
Since you're the Saudi and you the only Muslim
in your team.
Muslim on my team. Yeah.
That is interesting. Bro. Okay.
Keep
going, man.
Yeah, and so like the fired guys were out there, and they were playing the role of consultant too. They were like, hey, if you're gonna so we were actually looking at an island and trying to judge how long the fire truck would take on the island.
Okay.
My job in that was like, hey, you're gonna have to. What kind of technology do you need? You have a GPS in the truck, right? You have radios you got to talk to.
Mm.
And then, Saudi, like, they really want to be tech superpower. And so it's like, okay, well, how are you going to put AI into this,
Okay. Okay.
What about robotics, right? You're going to have, like, robot firefighting stuff. It got really interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's really
I'm
interesting.
loving AI, by the way. But go
Okay.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I went over there and I was doing that for about a month. And I came back after that, was supposed to go back over, and unfortunately my company just paying the contract or beyond my
Let it be,
control.
man. We stay positive.
Sure.
Alhamdulillah.
Keep it
But the
positive.
main thing about it, okay,
Because you're back here, because I missed you.
yeah, besides the daily job there, was that the first time you went to a country that are predominantly, is it the pronounce right?
You said it,
Yeah.
man.
Predominantly Muslims.
Shout out to
Yeah.
the English teacher. Go ahead, predominantly.
Yeah, so
Predominantly. That's why I said it right, bro.
You said it right 4 times, bro. You got it, bro. He just want to flex.
Man, I have to twist my tongue. And
You
then,
want to
must be
flex.
hanging out with Sheikh Ibrahim.
Yeah, man.
Big words out
Come
there.
on, man. A cacophony of words.
Man.
My lexicon is very good. My vernacular is
Like this
spectacular.
tripartite group we have going here.
Yeah, man.
anyway, because it's so
It's
yeah,
Neapolitan
how do
ice
you
cream
feel?
right now.
Yeah, so I got over there in like the middle of Ramadan, which actually, like, if you're going over there for business purposes, worst timing ever. These people do not work in Ramadan. You can't even blame them. It's like a month long vacation.
Time out. Be nice to. I'm trying. Saudi.
I loved it.
Listen,
I loved
Saudi.
it.
That's the right thing to do. That's what I said.
Bro, I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Look. Malay will do good in Saudi.
Bro, hey.
Pull us over. Malay and Saudi,
Oh,
man.
I'll
Go ahead.
I
Keep
will
going.
go back in a minute. And,
All day.
It was actually like amazing.
But that's funny. It's the people, though. It's true.
It's the
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's like here in Ramadan, bro. But
Eman Academy, good example.
great example.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, school just shut down. And everybody was lethargic because everybody. I get it, bro.
Go ahead, man.
And especially like the last 10 days, like you ain't getting a hold of nobody. Nobody's answering emails. Nobody.
You had a good time there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's trying to work, though.
I know.
He had the American mindset of working.
I have
versus
to.
they like
sleeping.
Is he?
Eating. Yeah, like,
I can't make the accent. You, brother, take it easy. It's Ramadan.
Yeah, man.
You know.
It's fasting.
Yeah.
Fasting, brother. No. I'll see you at 4 p.m.
And then like they do Tarawih a little different too. And so like after Isha, they'll pray 4 rakat, and everybody will leave, and they'll all come back at like 2 or 3 a.m. and then finish up. And that's from the middle. They do that from the beginning.
That's
like
smart.
Yeah, I mean, we wait until the last 10 days. But that's not how they do it over there. And it threw me off. I had to ask the guy I was working for. I was like, what's going on? Like, I thought it was 7.
Yeah. Wow.
It was like, oh yeah, we just come back later, right? And so it makes sense. I mean, it's a beautiful thing when, like country just shuts down to worship Allah.
Listen, man.
Like 5 times a day.
And guess what? Everybody survives. The economy keeps going. Everybody still makes money.
Whoa, you're not gonna raise this from Allah. It doesn't matter.
So it doesn't matter.
So and then like the 5 times prayer, Adhan came. You just
shut down. What was that feeling like?
Yeah.
Well, hold on. What is it like you walking and you like doing math and then what's the thought you hear that done? Boom.
Man, it's just like instantly like you'll be there working.
You hear that loud, right?
You hear that from like 4 different directions at once. Like, because there's a masajid everywhere. There's one. Really? I could look outside my hotel window and there's a mosque right here. I could walk. It's shorter than the distance from like my bedroom to my car. About the same distance.
Wow.
Right? But there's one there. There's one here. There's one here. There's one here. So when the adhan starts going, you hear it. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. And it's just like, man, it's just like, I needed that. Like you'd be working and you're stressed, doesn't matter what you're doing, like it's amazing to be just like, hey, we don't care what you're doing, we're calling you to prayer.
I love how
beautiful,
Allah fortifies the heart.
Yeah,
fortifies the heart, putting you in these situations. It's like
well, you're like a stop point too, like need to stop. There is another thing is more important than your math or your job, which is law, right?
Yeah.
That is like amazing. That was one thing I noticed that I really appreciated when I only went out of the country one time in my life. That was the Mecca, Medina.
I'll take you back.
That's the one thing I miss living in Malaysia, man, because the 5 times a day Azan.
Yeah. So this is where y'all actually been in Muslim countries, right? And
I live there. Used to live there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you live there, live. But no, it's so that experience. I'm jealous of that, bro, because I only had it for 8 days.
Do you You mean, do you miss it when you come
Oh
here?
man, all the time, almost every day. Actually, shout out to my friend Abdul Salim. Actually, he was my best friend in Saudi.
Yeah.
This guy, some of the friendliest people you ever meet. I miss it all the time, man. I
Mm.
didn't really. There were a lot of people there that I really couldn't communicate with,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they would just come up to me and be like, "You, good Muslim." I
Yeah,
go,
yeah, yeah,
"Thank you,
yeah, yeah.
Jazakumullah khairu, thank you."
Alhamdulillah,
You
That's
know?
alhamdulillah.
awesome right there, bro.
Yeah, you know, and it's like, and then the Saudi guys would be like, "You need to stay. You need to stay." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Man, I hope I stay." You know, like,
Inshallah, Habibi.
Yeah.
inshallah,
You see this
inshallah.
show, the
Yeah.
YouTube show, sit in the
So,
back.
Please bring me back.
so
It's a
Go
boot.
ahead.
when you were there, was your wife with you, or she had to stay here?
She stayed, yeah.
Oh man, she must be like,
Man, I
she
was
want to go
hoping it would turn into like a long-term thing and I could
like
bring
a
the whole
3 years thing.
family, you
No,
know, that
Yeah,
would have
no,
been
man, Allah
great.
make that
But,
happen.
you
bring the
know,
family there. That would be great, man.
Yo, that's
yeah.
dope. That's pretty dope.
And Ramadan in the Saudis, dude,
I
Ramadan.
couldn't imagine it, bro.
Yes.
Like, my favorite thing when I was in Medina and you hear the Adhan, right? And I looked out the window, you just seen crowd. Like everybody's like going
That
one way.
that make it motivate you to go too, because like
And they're telling me when it's Ramadan, they said, yo, people start praying out here on the street. Like you just can't get into the Prophet's masjid because everybody comes from around, man. That is heavy, bro. That is heavy.
And yeah, I hope, you know, inshallah, this beautiful environment to live in,
Great,
right?
man.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
besides that, anything that you kind of dislikes, something you see that not really you like it in Saudis. Sometimes maybe you see, oh, why do they have to do this? You understand what I'm saying?
I would say like I will say that one of the things I feel like I feel actually here a lot more connected to the religion, ironically, right? In a way, because you have to strive for it here, you know?
Yeah.
You got to get in your car and drive to the mosque,
That's right.
right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
And then like
You have
it's
to know the
like
time
you
too.
have to know the time, right?
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
just like, oh, there's the Adhan, 10 minutes, I got to
Yeah.
walk, right?
Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, for me, and you know, they lock the mosque between prayers, which I
Oh.
didn't, yeah, like this was unusual for me, right? Being from Click in these places where
No way,
mosque
man.
always open, you
Because I
know?
take a nap here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I know. Ahmed here, he sleep, y'all.
Yeah.
Azad told me I have to
And I
pay
just at the
rent.
door. Not in my office. No.
Azad told me you have to pay rent. We're like, why?
Hey man, Muhammad Ali said service to others
You
and
know
the
what?
price you pay for rent on earth.
Yeah, well, go ahead, man. I'm not trying to interrupt.
Yeah, I mean that was it. I don't.
That's dope,
Not
bro.
a lot of negatives for
Hey,
me, honestly.
like I
Not a lot of
said, man,
negatives.
he trying to get my invite to Saudi taken away, y'all. This dude crazy, yo. Don't stop wilding out
That's
here.
all right, man.
They
I mean,
bring all of us.
Yeah,
All of us.
inshallah. I would love to spearhead a group of Sheikh Amar, all of us, the converts, and go.
but that thing it's
Man,
minor, man.
convert group to Saudi,
Come on,
bro.
man.
What?
Come on. Even though I said we weren't gonna call that, we want to say new Muslim
Yeah,
group to
yeah,
Saudi with Sheikh Amar.
Yeah, man.
Make it happen, y'all. When I
Allah.
set up that Patreon, I'm gonna set up a fund just for that. Go ahead. Anyway, inshallah.
That's good, man. That's good. I mean, really, even though you spend over there only 1 month, it really a big impact, in your life
Huge.
experience. Huge impact, right? Yeah.
Now this is one of my favorite areas now.
All right.
Here we go.
I'll let you take over,
He
man.
gonna
For
pass
this,
it on. Finally. Yeah, I mean, so Kev, my stuff is always like philosophical and it's always spiritual, right?
try to be. I mean,
Hey, leave Uncle Khary alone, man.
Tell him he be going wild on me, bro. Everybody watch the show, be like, yo, Ahmed is really a gangster. I'm like, I
He be
guess so.
going in,
Real recognize
Oh,
real
man.
sometimes. Look at our face. I be letting him ride with it.
I got this tonight.
Hey, shout out to my people, man.
Okay,
Shout out to my
go ahead,
people.
go ahead.
Mine.
So, first of all, why should people learn Islam and become Muslim? Why?
Wow, what a question.
Oh, it's coming.
Wow.
Pause, but it's here. We here. We're here,
mean-
and this is what we doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like everybody is really, a lot of people out there are searching for the way they're supposed to live their life. And Islam is truly that, right? Like Islam is the way that you were designed to live. It's like using yourself to the manufacturer's specifications.
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean?
sure.
Kind of how I see it. So,
Okay.
like, yeah. And like also,
So become Muslim, right?
Yeah, and also like know, like cultural values change every 20 years, you know? If you're gonna base who you are off the culture you're in, whew, there's nothing really meaningful about
Yeah.
that in this
I
culture.
told you he's smart, man. You can't play around with this guy, man.
Oh man.
He can become
Oh,
really, really deep. I mean, like,
May Allah
oh
preserve it.
wow.
May Allah preserve it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I remember he posted one time in the WhatsApp about some ayah he read in the Quran. I'm like, Kevin, I didn't think like that. And he just like,
yeah, Kevin, he's deep. He get deep.
now he
Yeah, his mindset has
elaborate
definitely
the
been
whole
learning.
elaborated the whole thing. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hold on one. So now, since we taking you to that one, that was a great answer, by the way, and I appreciated that. We get into my second. What is your favorite thing about Allah?
Allah is the acceptor of repentance. You know? I mean, like
oh,
I can turn to Allah anytime I want for guidance, mercy, for forgiveness, and Allah is always there, you know? God is always there. Um, understanding, you know, like I don't even know if I know myself very well sometimes, but when I'm in front of Allah in Salah, when I'm praying, I know I'm in front of the one that knows me better than myself, sees my soul, made my soul, right? Before I was even
Yeah.
conceived,
I mean, just simple.
right?
Where we started with who Allah, who what, Ahad,
Ad,
and then what's next? Allah,
Allahu
who what,
Samad,
the internal.
the eternal.
What you saying? Anytime, anyone, before, after, made me, created me, and it's so ironic that we have the super moon, and people want to witchcraft and the hunting, but they never give credit to the. So you hit that. Like turn to the creator.
but Sheikh Walid said that
That's what
today.
he said, and yeah, he said that, and that's it. You turn
You
into the
never give
creator, man.
credit to the creator. That's correct. Wow.
Yeah, like, you know, I mean, like any Muslim, like, I don't know, I loved Salah. Like, to me, when I first became Muslim, I was like, hey, man, this is it.
This is it.
Like, you know, like I had
Yes.
never felt more connected to God than that. You know?
Yo, so here we go. We rounding a second and third, right? About to head home. What's your favorite hadith or Quran verse?
Okay, so
Are you gonna answer both, or are you gonna just hit one of them?
I'll do the Quran verse
I
actually.
love it. Good.
And I can't even fully explain why this verse hits me so hard the way it does.
I
It's in
love
Surah
when
Kaf.
I love when he speaks Arabic. Shout out to him for knowing his Arabic and really doing his due diligence to memorize things.
He put me in shame, man.
Anyway,
Look at
if
this
you're in
dude.
shame, I'm gonna unload that. Go ahead, Sheikh. I'm so sorry.
So yeah, so it goes Surah Kaf, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. تركنا بعضهم يومئذ يموج في بعض ونفخ في الصور وجمعناكم جمعا. Right, and this is Allah talking about Juj and Majuj, and he says, one day I'm going to release them and they'll crash into each other like waves. Then the horn will blow and I will gather them all together as a group. And it sends shivers down my spine just thinking about it.
Wow.
Like, you know, this is the day that you meet Allah, right? Like, this is the day that like you're in Salah all the time, but now there's no veil anymore. You're right in front of your Creator. You're alone, like Allah says. And this is one of the most terrifying verses to me too. It's in Surah Al-Muzammil, where Allah says, "Dharni wa man khalaqtu wahida." Leave me alone with the one who I created alone. And every time I read that verse, I'm like, I'm gonna be alone one day with Allah, right? Everything is gonna be like.
What did I say?
He turned the table. He deep.
What did I say?
Man, bro.
All right, you won.
Yeah.
You won, man. You won. You won. You won. You won. You won.
Alhamdulillah.
Man,
that
so
was-
I only want to ask the last question because he just answered it.
All right.
Here we go. The last question is: what do you hope your meeting with Allah will look like on Judgment?
And I hope that Allah asks me about my minor sins, and that's it. And then He's just like, here's your book, your right hand, you're good. Like, I'm gonna ask you about your minor sins, and welcome to Jannah. Like, you know, don't pass go. You're straight away from the hellfire. Like, I don't want any
to
part
like
of that.
$200 straight to go. You know what I mean?
And
like for
then
real, man.
It's like a lightning.
I don't want any punishment in the grave. I want a nice, spacious green grave with beautiful companions. Like this is really what I'm striving for. And like, you know, like I think any convert probably, you know, has things in his past, skeletons in his closet that, you know, once you become Muslim and you start looking back,
Sure do, bro.
start looking back on your life, you're like,
Yeah.
have to meet Allah with that, you know?
No, man. Once you become convert, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Forgiven.
Yeah.
It's like a baby.
If
know?
it's one of those things, I mean, we know. Only
Yeah.
Allah knows.
Yeah.
Allah knows best, man. But you know, we always have to lean into Allah's promise, and He shows us that it's true.
One last question. One last question.
ahead,
You
man.
know,
we just floating around
all
Go ahead.
night.
this thing. You know, any advice for a new Muslim or any born Muslim out there, how to stay true in Islam, to to stay on the path.
Yeah.
You know, our iman like this, because I look at you. You always try to improve.
Yeah.
Your iman, your Islam, your practice.
Yeah.
You know, you obviously, the community here. You come here to click.
Yeah.
You mingle for the whole community, which
It's difficult to do.
it's difficult to do.
Sometimes,
you
yeah.
experience the same thing. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because first of all, the culture.
Yeah.
Not
It's the culture that's
yeah,
already here.
there's
and
a lot of
you have a clashing of many
right,
pockets of culture.
a lot of
Yeah.
first generation here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but you keep coming here, and then today.
So yeah, what's the
Well, yeah,
advice on that? Of
easy advice.
keeping you're not letting the culture dictate, not letting the people be your reason for not coming.
Ah, that's right. Oh man, that's beautiful.
That's you could talk for hours about that. You know, there's actually a hadith out there that says, you know, I'm not gonna say exactly, but it's like,
Please don't, because we like to be casual.
Yeah.
You know,
No, I'm joking when I say don't, but y'all get me. You get me. Go ahead.
like,
I'm not worried about you. Subtitles.
you know, it's better for a person to go out among the people and be harmed by them than just stay in his house and be good. You know? There's more good in it for that way, even if there's some harm for you.
Yeah.
For me, I say my advice would be guard your salah. This is the biggest thing.
That's a great one.
It's the biggest
And the masjid is the best place for it.
100%, 100. Like, you know, Allah's house.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, you don't come here on accident. Allah's inviting you. Allah's inviting you.
Allah.
Now you think about it.
Allah. We don't clap, so we do this
And then,
poetry snap.
And then after that, I have to take a nap in the back.
Yeah.
Even then, like, you know,
you don't come, you're invited.
Even that, like, sleeping in the masjid, like, imagine, like, Allah is so comfortable with you in His house, and you in His house, you can sleep. That's a beautiful thing.
Oh, the couch at the back was nice.
Well, you could probably sleep anywhere,
Oh man. Yo, that was really, really, really insightful.
MashaAllah.
I mean, I guess we'll just wrap it up.
Yeah, wrap it up.
We gave enough beneficial information. Kevin took you through his pain. Almost all his pain. Not as much as pain as having been a Houston, Texas fan, and I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. You know, I gotta throw that in there. It was, you know, this was the original Kansas City Chiefs.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He's stranger to that culture.
Yeah, I don't.
Nah, man, Kevin. What we say his name was? Enrique.
Kevin Al Enrique.
Yeah, Kevin El Enrique.
Enrique.
Yeah, Kevin El Enrique. We really appreciate you. Number one, being sincere and true, right? Because there's so many people that just have so many different agendas, man, and you just come around and you're like the bee. You know, one wonderful thing about the bee, their moves, and it tells us in the Quran, it could say guided, but it uses a different word. I'll let y'all do the homework in that. And it's wisely guided. His moves aren't just in vain, right? But then the bee, when it goes to a flower, a bee not only approaches the flower gentle, you not only come to the community, but you give just as much as you take, just like a bee. You know what I mean? And it's like when you see people inspired by Allah, working this path by Allah. It's a beautiful thing to see, and
That's
I
true,
love
bro.
your glow up. I
I
told
hope
you
you
this
look. I hope you
off
look in the
camera.
mirror. I hope you look in the
Nah,
mirror
man.
sometimes,
man.
bro. Because
In
I mean,
Malay,
like, hey, man, like,
in
Hey,
our,
don't make me cry. I said I wasn't gonna cry this
you know
episode.
what?
Nah, 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 nah.
Talk about bees in our culture. You want to be bees. You don't want to be like fly because fly always looks something nasty.
You know what though?
Bees always look at
But
flowers, beautiful
second,
things.
but even the way a bee approaches the way bad bottle, but even the way the bee. Now I wonder why Allah chose the bee in the Quran.
Mm,
Think about how a fly lands. When fly lands, they land like
yeah.
look at how the bee lands. Bees like
gentle,
soft, smooth. You drop something from it?
nurturing.
You leaving?
No,
That's it?
it's getting hot.
You done?
Gotta cool
Yeah, we
off.
starting to get too much. But seriously
Yeah,
though, and I really admire that
it's hot.
about you. You just keep going, man. And as far as the parents, the best thing that I could say, being 27 years deep, um, mom passed away. My dad at one point in time, we specifically had to talk. We specifically he put the bottle in my way. It's like this guy's ugly. Anyway, we had to talk. Thank you. We had
That's
to
a nice
talk,
thing about this,
and it's beautiful.
unscripted.
So just keep going, keep fighting a good fight, but keep it going, man. Like
No,
we really appreciate it because remember, man, to this dunya, the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, "Be as travelers." You know what I mean? Treat it as strangers. Glad tidings to the strangers. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we are. We seeing the culture of the indoctrination, and that was strange to us. And now we create the
Right.
culture. That's why this podcast, excuse me, that's why this YouTube talk show is called Strangers to the Culture. Give glad tidings to the culture.
All right.
Brother Ahmed here, Yo Khary here. Do you have any Instagram or any social media handles?
No, sir.
No,
I
because
sure
we
do
like
not.
our
I
deeds.
do not.
Except for me, I have to do it.
All right.
So we're gonna sign out on this episode, Stranger to the Culture. Once again, we want y'all to like, subscribe, share this. Please do so. We're just trying to make it grow. We're trying to take it on the road. And until we see you next time, I see you when I see you. Peace.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum wa
Appreciate it, Kevin.
rahmatullahi.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's my
Yep.
pleasure.
Fire, brother.
That's
Yeah.
fire. That was
Jazakallah
good.
khair.
Yeah.
Mad fire, hot fire.
That was
Fire,
sick.
fire, fire. I choose.